If this technique helped at all, please like and subscribe if you're at it, guys. If you feel like subscribing, please subscribe. We are Lipper Army. Come join the Lipper Army. Lipper Army. Hey, Lipper Army. What's going on, guys? This is going to be part 2 of how I use my mouse tails. Part 1 just showed one way how to do it, guys. So I'm going to show you how actually this winter I've been doing good, doing another way. It isn't actually doing it much. You just throw it out and let it sit. And also, I used to say I like a size 10 hook in my last video for the mouse tails, which I do. I love my size 10 straight shank hook. But for the mouse tails, I started to learn that once they're out for a while on a size 10 hook, they start to sink. So what I'm going to do is start showing you guys a smaller hook, what to use, how to hook it. I have a video, guys, on how I hook my mouse tails. Go check out that video. It's under our Trout Techniques playlist. But for right now, I'm just going to show you a couple different ways. Check out part 1. It shows you with a split shot how I jig, pop, pop, and I let it sit. I'm going to show you that again, but instead of using a split shot, I want to use a slide and sinker. Slide and sinker, a little more, the fish don't feel it. So you could use a split shot. It was working killer for me at that time, and I didn't have no problems with it. So a split shot I'll still be using, but I'm going to show you guys a slide and sinker too. So let's begin. So first off, I would recommend for the hook size is a plain shank, straight shank, size 12. I use this kind right here by Eagle Claw. I used to use this size, but in size 10, but they started sinking on me, so I started using 12s. You could also use, which on my how I hook my mouse tails video, it shows this kind of hook, what I do for weedless. But you can use a size 10, but it's got to be a Aberdeen light wire, so it's a light hook. You could also use, if you want to use a size 10, use a light wire for the mouse tails. That's what that is. It's a size 10, but it's very light wire, long shank. And I haven't had a problem with it sinking with this hook. So as long as you use a size 10 with a light wire hook, you'll be good with it. But if you don't, I recommend using these size 12s, guys. These size 12s, the egg does not sink after, because it floats when you cast it out. Or if you're looking at it in the water, it will float right away. You're like, oh, okay, I'm good, I'm floating it. By the time I bring that in after a while, I look at it, it starts to gradually sink. And I'm like, wait a minute. Has it been sinking the whole time after it's been in the water for a while? Oh, I started tripping. So anyway, so let's show you how I'm going to rig this. All right, so first, we got a 4-pound line. I like using for now Vanish, 4-pound. Always fluorocarbon with my trout. Always fluorocarbon, just for trout. And what we're going to do is, I got the line for my pole here, and what we're going to do is put a slip sinker on it. A slip sinker, this is by GREMLIN, a slip sinker. This is a 3/8 pack. A 1/4 is good too. It's depending on the wind. Sometimes I use the heavier one, sometimes I use a thinner one, but between a 3/8 and a 1/4, you're good to go with that. And I'm going to slide it through the line. And now it's going to slide. It's going to slide. Okay, so we'll let that hang there. And now what we're going to use, I always use a size 14 barrel swivel. I try getting as small as I can. They look like this. This is how I buy them. They're by Laser Sharp. The barrel swivel. These have the snap swivels on the barrel swivels. What I do, I just cut the snap swivels off and just use the barrel swivel, because I can't really find that much of the size 14 barrel swivel. So, and it works out. So I'm going to put the barrel swivel on. Tie that on put the barrel swivel on after I put that slip weight on. Always wet your knots when you're tying it with fluorocarbon. You don't want it to rub against, no resistance when you're tying a knot. That could make the line snap. Don't use your teeth when cutting it like I am. Alright, so now we got the barrel swivel on. Now, it's going to look like this. So, weight on there, and we're going to have the barrel swivel. Now on the other end of that barrel swivel, we're going to make a leader line. I use the same kind of line, 4-pound Vanish. Don't matter what kind, just I use 4-pound fluoro. And I got some line here somewhere. Here it is. Alright. Depending on what size leader you want, you could have it a foot, you could have it 2 foot, you could even have it 3 foot. Sometimes on my lake, because we got so much weeds, I use a 3-foot leader. You know what I mean? But most of the time, I do a 1.5 to 2 foot leader. That's what I do. Alright, now once I got the leader line on, now it's going to look like this. We got the weight and the slip sinker. Maybe I mean the barrel swivel. Maybe I can show you the barrel swivel easier now. There's the barrel swivel. And now I got the weight stopping on the barrel swivel. Now we got line here. You can do whatever line, whatever length you like. What I like personally for this lake, I like a 1.5 to 2 foot. Winter time I might go a foot because of less weeds. Now on the end of that leader line, I like to put that size 12 hook, plain shank. So we're going to tie that on. Now that we got that on, guys, we got the weight, snap swivel. Snap swivel's right here. Barrel swivel, I'm sorry. And now we got the leader line coming all the way down. This is kind of long. This is a little longer than I expected, but I'm just showing you for the video. So now, since we got that hook on there, I'm going to get a mouse tail. If you guys don't know what mouse tails are, this is what mouse tails look like. I got all different colors. We got a color like that, white egg, orange tail. We got a mixture here. We got orange egg, green tail. Then we got green egg with an orange tail. And then we got a couple pinkos, and then we got all white. I'm going to use all white just to show you in the video. Now that we got the egg on there, now we're going to cast it out. Alright, Lipper Army. First one we're going to do, first technique, is just cast it out and let it sit on the bottom. Just cast it out. Let the line go, let it sink. Once it sinks, reel some slack up. Set the pole down. Put a little bobber sensor on it now. Now, just wait for that bobber to go up to rip them lips. That's your sensor right there. I recommend using the smallest bobber you can. If there's wind, you might have to use a heavier bobber, but if there's no wind, use the lightest bobber you can. And that's just fishing on the bottom, just letting it sit. Alright. I've been having a lot of progress this winter, just having it sit. The beginning of the winter, it was all about popping, which I'm going to show you in a second. But having it just sit out there was killer this winter, this late winter. Killing it. If you look at some of my videos, guys, you'll be seeing it. All mouse tails mainly. Now, the next one up, instead of using that real big weight, that 1/4 to 3/8, because we're not just going to let it sit on the bottom, guys. What we're going to do is jig it, popping. All right, my first video explains exactly how I do it, but how I do it with a split shot. And I'll have everything in the description, guys, for you, what I'm using, what I'm doing, and all. Everything's always in every video on the description. Just check the description. So instead of using, I got to find out the size when I get home. Instead of using a 1/4 to 3/8 slip sinker, try using a baby one. You guys see that? Real light. I'll get the size. I'll have a description for you. Alright, so pretend that this small one's on here right now. Alright. Now, what we're going to do, same thing. Cast it out. Once we cast it out, let it sit. Let it sink to the bottom and let it sit. I let it sit for about 20 seconds, 23 seconds after I cast it. Because you want it sinks and you want to let that mouse tail start floating up. Okay? Let's pretend it's 20 seconds now, okay? What we're going to do is just do a couple pops. Okay? Then let it sit. Now I'll wait maybe 15 seconds and keep watching that line. Always watch that line. That line starts going out. Give it like a good 5 to 8 seconds. Let them lick on it so you can rip them lips. You for sure you have them. Let them take it. Now if they don't hit it in another 15, 20 seconds, do another pop. And just repeat till you come all the way in. Now, I bring it all the way up to the bank here. The reason why I do is sometimes when I'm right here, when I'm right at the bank, these trout will ambush it. They'll ambush it. So if they ambush it, and I'm seeing them ambush it, sometimes they'll hit it right at the bank. I love when that happens. You actually see them eat the bait, and then you rip them lips, and then you got the drag going because it hit so close, you got still a fight in them. But I bring it all the way up, and I just repeat till I come in. A couple pops, let it sit for another 15 seconds or so, and watch that line. If it's windy and you can't see the line that well, feel the line. Always want to be one with the line. Be one with the pole. All right, because you don't want to miss that lick, and I know you don't. I know I don't want to miss that lick. So, couple pops. You can use a split shot. You can use a split shot. But if it's more sensitive areas, if they've been hooked before, and they're gonna feel that split shot, and they're gonna lick it and spit it. Now that's why I call it lick it and spit it. That's my saying, lick it and spit it. Because they're licking it, they feel something, they're gonna spit it. Okay? So it's a slide and slip sinker, a real small one, same size as like a split shot. Use works really good too. I mean, I'll use a split shot still if I want to. You know, it don't matter. You can slide down the line wherever you want it. But the slip sinker, I think, is really a lot better, in my opinion. If you watch part 1, it's all about the split shot. And also part 1, I show about how I use a size 10 hook. I found out later, once it sits in the water, which I just talked about, it starts to sink. So use that size 12 or that light wire long shank hook size 10 if it's a light wire for size 10. But size 12 is where it's at. Also, I have check out in the trout techniques also about how I hook the mouse tails. That will explain everything. Thank you so much for watching, Lipper Army. You guys rock. You know what I'm saying? Keep on doing you, and keep on doing you, Lipper Army. I said keep on doing you. Peace.